Hi, let's start by using quadratic formula to solve a quadratic equation. So remember, quadratic formula is your x, or your solutions, are equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So given the equation 3x squared minus 2x equals 7, I need to rearrange this so that it's in standard form, so then I can use my quadratic formula. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides, and that gives me 3x squared minus 2x minus 7 equals 0. So now I'm in standard form. I can see my a value is 3, my b value is negative 2, and my c value is negative 7. So I'm just going to substitute those in the quadratic formula. So x equals the opposite of my b number plus or minus the square root of my b number squared. Notice I'm using parentheses so that whenever I use my calculator, it will actually square negative 2, not do 2 squared and then stick a negative on it. Minus 4 times my a number times my c number, all over 2 times my a value. So that's going to give me, so the opposite of negative 2 is 2, plus or minus the square root of, and if I type this in, I get 88 all over 6. So remember, it is better to try and simplify in 3 parts. So your negative b, your denominator, and what's under the square root sign, and then work your way from there instead of trying to type it all in at once and potentially making a sign mistake. So 88 is 4 times 22. 4 is a pair of 2's. 22 is 2 and 11. So since I'm taking out, since I'm doing a square root, I'm going to take out my 2's. So that's going to give me 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 22 over 6. And then the number inside my radical is now locked. So I've already tried to simplify it. I couldn't get pairs out of 22, so that I'm finished with that. But you notice right here on the values that are outside my radical, all of those can be simplified by dividing by 2. So as long as all 3 of those can be simplified, I can go ahead and simplify. Otherwise, I have to leave it as is. So this would be 1 plus or minus 1 square root of 22. Notice I made that kind of invisible because technically I don't need it. And then over 3. So my 2 answers are 1 plus the square root of 22 divided by 3, or 1 minus the square root of 22 divided by 3. And then if I wanted a decimal, I could do 1 plus square root of 22, divide that by 3. So approximately 1.9, and then 1 minus square root of 22 divided by 3 gives me approximately negative 1.23. This was 9.0. The 6 rounds this 89 to 90. So there are my 2 solutions in exact form and in decimal form. And that's solving using the quadratic formula.